Alrighty, and we are good to go. Let's make sure everything is set. Deactivate the following devices, and we should be able to have fun. Alrighty, guys, let's hop into what happened overnight, as well as covering some news. Jumping into the 30-minute time frame here. What do we see? If not, the 6 o'clock open on Sunday morning, having gapped up 400 points, 200 points there, having closed, the market having closed.
I should get that icicle.
Oh, okay.
It's the side of the house right here, the back door, the back door.
Alrighty. Market currently being up 800 points since it last closed, and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Hopefully, let's see how fast that could be. Alrighty, and with time passing, I realized I actually had enough time to do an audio check beforehand. So let's try and cover that real quick. What's up, party in the USA? Audio check. Audio appears very low, actually. Let's do a quick little recording. Listen to the buffer. That's a little funny. Ooh, I really want to quickly drag everything else over. Oh, it's showing that screen. Okay, hold on. Now they're gonna pinch me right there for this one. That's a little bit better. Let's go to our audio real quick and listen to the latest recording. Audio was almost non-existent. Let's check one more time for the current audio. See just the current levels R&D is hearing. I'm not tripping. This audio is just low. Hold on. Yeah, I am indeed just low. Let's turn the mic up some. Desktop and mic audio, 30, 40, 50s. No, there's a level stopping. That's probably the biggest issue is the leveler. Okay, we'll try this one last time. Okay, let's go in and adjust these settings on the mic audio here. Default device to PNP. Timestamp not necessary. Let's check the filters on it right now. Noise suppression and noise gate. The noise gate and see that that's anything. Fully disabling it. Test 1 2 1 2. Okay, guys, if we look over here, we're gonna see this little okay, test feature. Now let's go on the last test and see how it's looking at 9 o'clock exactly. Okay, we're just gonna turn the microphone up here because it's just capping out and not going high enough. I love doing this, but you know, it's fun to commit to this. It's fun. It's worth it in the end, and so I will. Mic check again. Maybe it's these earbuds I'm using. Why on earth is it not? Let's try this. Alrighty then, I guess we're just gonna go higher and speak loud and clear. Let's get this rolling. Just mind me there. But yes, I do want to work on this actually. For the... I think this will be a little bit better for today's examples I will be showing off. But yes, let's look at the close here. 4 o'clock, 4:30 even. Market is currently up 760 points with a high of 850. 3 a.m. opening range is crazy. Absolutely absurd here. There's a literal wild gap here. We can kind of get rid of a lot of zones here just for this, actually. A lot of overlapping zones get completely cleared and blown out of water. But I just love how it continues this trend from the bottoms, the lows get perfectly realigned. That's actually just amazing there. Let's hop in here and mark out our 830 range today. We'll be using one contract at a time. I did go ahead to follow my own advice here. I got my notes back again. I'm gonna write those down, keep them in front of us for what we are looking for to help with our setups. But in the meantime, let's cover over everything real quick. It's not just the NASDAQ, but let's go look at the crude and see how oil has been performing. Why did we go to 500 ticks? Oil overnight has seen the exact same thing, explosive movement up over just about $2 actually. Someone give me to the oil close at 4:30, being at $61. Currently we're sitting at 63, so crude has gone up $2 whole. What percentage is that for crude? Crude being up 3% in a single day. Some good moves here. 830 range. Moderate. Heading out of crude into gold. Let's examine. We see gold is actually doing the exact opposite thing. Oh wow. Gold is down. Why is gold down so severely? Checking the news overnight. Trump said he was going to do a deal at 9 a.m. We saw a lot happened at 3 a.m. though, so let's go check on that. 3 a.m. Looks like everything apparently dropped around 3 a.m. China to lower 3 a.m. China to lower tariffs on U.S. goods to 10% from 125%, from 125 to 10% for 90 days. So this lessened the value of gold, lessening the tariffs. Okay. Dropping the tariffs, reduce the value of gold, increase the value of oil, and the S&P, I'm assuming the NASDAQ and the Dow, and I'm assuming the S&P and the Dow also have gone and jumped up in correspondence. That is definitely something interesting to consider here. Gold on my nasty work. Up 30 points up from the low. There's definitely some gaps to be filled here. Let's mark these out. Pay some attention to them. Nevertheless, heading over back into the NASDAQ. What are we going to see for today? I'm hitting some daily levels. Let's check that real quick. Daily levels. No real daily highs here. We have some resistance around here, which I will mark out just for the sake of it. All these levels. But we have some levels at 500 flat. After 500, it's kind of just real smooth resistance. I'm not really seeing too much that's absurdly notable. We're going to map this out here as well at the 21,360. And that's kind of covering everything that we want to really pay attention to at the exact moment. For the NASDAQ. Let's get our subs in here and get ready. We have about 24 minutes to cover things. And so with that time, I'm going to cover our schedule for the day, make sure we are indeed on our combine account. And just to give us a little bit of a rundown right now. Account's currently down $500. It's nice, loud, and vocal. I definitely need to get something to drink right now. Can definitely feel it in my voice, but we should be fine. Nevertheless, let's not hold back on that for too long. The account does have a reset credit. I'm not looking forward to using it just yet. So let's really get these setups going, and then we'll cover the notes from the last time we went trading. Heading back over in the trading. Our setup will be utilizing the 5 minutes instead of the 3-minute EMAs. For stronger supports, utilizing the 1 minute, 5 and 500 tick time frames. We're gonna have some fun here. So the market's selling down. What is the range of the opening range? How many points across is range? 50 points. 50 points of range. Alrighty then. Alrighty. So the question becomes for me, right? Do I want to use the 15-minute highs and lows? Because this looks like right here is right where market is right here. So I don't really want to grab this low right here and place it exactly where market is. So that's not really in my favor. Then we go to highs. Next high I'd have is up here. So let's really grab this one though. And highs are green. Highs and lows are green. These are our targets. I'm not seeing any 15-minute, like, how do I say this? Gaps I really want to target here. This doesn't really hold the best for me on my scales. This isn't really holding the best for any scale actually, so we'll be moving from that one. It does appear to hold in the 5-minute, but we'll keep pushing past it. We're gonna look for the level in here. Okay. Levels like this. I want to just try learning market profile, so we're gonna mark that out here. I'm gonna run some experience with market profile. You're familiar with the concept of it. Whenever you see consolidation, but more likely in the higher time frames when it's there, like this right here. You have a level at the 2930, well, 930 exactly. We'll try and be mindful of that. And saying that, I'm just gonna have to physically mark it out before I start forgetting. So let's go in here. Coordinates 930. Let I not forget anything good or anything right. And I think we can kind of back out for a moment, slow down, get everything right and set up, and head over to one covering the news for sure, and then our setup, and then our notes. So if you don't mind me, I'll be back shortly and grabbing some water. Do we have comments is the question. Oh, see those. No comments for the moment. And let us return. Well, today I would love to be using the camera. It's not looking the best option right now. So I'll make do with what we have here, and we'll use it well and wise. The current setup is still good and it's still efficient. That's really what matters here. But on this regard, we said we're going to hop into our previous notes and the news. Last thing we were tracking were the market on closing balances. And when did we blow our account? May 1st. May 9th review. Let's also pin these up here, but just bring them up so we can hold on to them. In the order. Okay, this is better. 5th, 9th, 6th, 2nd. Ooh, greed. I remember this. I was up $2,000. Did not close the trade. We ended up losing money that day. kind of unfortunate there. May 1st, we took 3 bad trades in 2 minutes because our stop loss was off from this day because we kept lowering it and we couldn't turn it back on until the next day. But the next day we didn't turn it back on. May 2nd, there's a part. Okay, we're just tracking this as to see what the market actually did. Market on close and balance. Okay. May 9th review. We said continue using the 30-minute 8:30 opening range. Candles opening inside of range and close and close to the halfway point tend to head to the near side of range, top or bottom. Candles opening outside of range may continue in their direction if there's liquidity to target before making way towards range. Okay. Let's really go overhead and look at things last night and see, because while this could hold, and hopefully it does, there's no guarantee that it does hold. Because the news was really good, you feel me? 3 o'clock, tariffs dropped from 125 to 10 for 90 days. Markets really jumped, you feel me? Being up almost 3% from last night, or 2.5. So looking for a squeeze, some point a dip later in the day, and then once more continued squeeze. That's just what we're predicting on. We will be playing cautious here, making sure that we hone into our time frames and DMAs. Let's also draw this out for our low. And once I will be grabbing a support line, but I tend to stay away from them. Support line there and support line here. I say don't normally go into my strategy, but they can be relevant, so I'll keep them. We're going to zoom in on the closer time frames, as these ones we have the quickest reaction time for, what we will be needing it for. Larger time frames we have zoomed out because we want to really look at the bigger picture at the same time. Let's start heading back into more recent news over here on the sides and see what's happening. Drug prices to be cut by 60%, says Trump. Okay. Definitely interesting. Investors are rushing back into U.S. assets, causing a more than 3% surge in the S&P 500 futures. That's interesting. Let's go and check that out for just a second here and get the same and similar charting out. Grabbing ourselves the 8:30 range. Grabbing the lows and support. Technically, this would be a low to grab. And the lows on targets are always green. Targets are always green. It's a flat line. That's kind of a void. You'd have to physically hop into the lower time frames and draw this out. Let's see how much the music goes for. All seems well in the S&P. It's a little slower, a little bit safer, honestly, if we're speaking on safety. So guys, let's go over the daily goals, right? What are the goals for the day? 15 minutes before the market opens. One, simply not lose more than $400, right? So what is that? 20 points? Don't lose 20 points. And for the sake of this, I will be using one contract just because it's easier to not lose 20 points. I'm not in a rush to make money at the moment. I saw what happened last time. I blew an account. Additionally, do we have any profit goals today? Profit goals, I'd say 600 I'd be fine with. We'll do 300 I'm okay with. So I'm going to probably throw in a trailing or a limit order if we do have over $300 in our balance. After that, I'd say anything else is more excessive. Because while on the last account we were having $800, $1,300 days, I think we were doing like running 2 contracts at once. 2 contracts. If you guys don't mind me pulling this one up here, just to exactly see how we were running those days. It's a good thing I put it up on the side here. That would have been funny. 4 days ago, market opens, 750 in the XFA. The day we passed the combine, the day I blew a combine. Let's hop in here and see just how many contracts I'm running. This is very fun for me, but let's get into it. 931. We bought two. Okay, we were running two contracts during the combines. Phew. Get that guy off my screen. So here we are. Running our Dom. For our trailing stop, 2. Number of contracts, 2. We're just gonna do 10 points. Cause what is that? 400? Huh. Interesting. We're gonna have our 2 down here. Oh, S&P's different, so. NASDAQ. Feeling good. Currently, what are we looking for by EMA touches? I feel like better for me than EMA touches were the zones. Or I guess heading sell side where I might grab some support. So my question is, I have to like slow down, right? And wait till I'm absolutely sure on the trade before taking it. So my point is, which point am I feeling the strongest with, right? Where we have this low, the 880 to target. Definitely something there. Targeting 880. Because we're opening in range right now. I gotta see how this goes. I can wait to buy on that 880. Hop in at 2. Can wait for an 860 touch. We really just gotta see like what's gonna be my absolute strong point. But we are looking for a squeeze here in the markets, especially with the news of everyone else and their orders. We have the overnight orders coming through, orders for the market opens, and I'll be right back because I definitely have to use the bathroom, and I will be quick. Quick little bathroom break. Thankfully, I am back. I do want to try this again real quick, actually, for the sake of it. I want to have this little format going here, right? This is your 9 to 12 broadcast with your host, Phaeton. I'm your host, Phaeton, and welcome to your 9 to 12 broadcast. We'll work the kinks out here, but I do want to have it noted and start working on it right now. Welcome to date. Today's date is blank and blank. My name is... I'm your host, Phaeton, and welcome to your date. I like the idea. So let's go on it and start it up. Okay, so we're going to specifically have there's that one level we were talking about earlier in the volume profile, right? It was like here, right? Yeah, there it is. Let's see this out here. It's I'm loving this right here. I wonder if the typing is too loud. All right, I have some water. I'm gonna try reading this line out real quick. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. Actually, it's just gonna be great. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Phaeton, and welcome to your 9 to 12 morning markets for May 12th. Let's get down to business. Oh, loved it. Loved it. Bread and butter. So market didn't exactly reject the point we were looking for. So what does this tell me? What does that tell me then? Let's get this profile back in here, right? Profile it. Clink, clink, clink. Huh. We're playing close to it. Oh well, we're still learning market profile. Overall strategy is range. We're here to play range. There are 50 points of range, and we're looking to capture 20. Or about 50 points, I believe. Let's check this one last time here. We have just under 60 points of range, and we ourselves are looking for 20. But we have to be cautious here because on a single half, we're looking at 30 points of range to work with. I'm going to turn this bottom chart here into white and black and see how it's looking. I'm going to take this and invert the other guys on it. Ooh, that's not going to work the best unless we run into cotton candy with it. We're going to hop in with 3 minutes on the clock, run gradients, cotton candied, black and whites. because I want to turn the EMAs into black and white lines. Question was which one went first on the EMAs. We'll see. We definitely had to change this though. Canvas, solid. This is slightly better, more workable. And we'll look at the grid lines and see what we can do about those. No grid lines, or just horizontal. Yeah, we're gonna do none for now. No grittiest lines. And then we're going to hop in here and change the rectangular color. Alrighty. This is workable. This right here is definitely workable on our scales. Let's see how it performs. I'm just kind of consolidating right here. You can see it. 30 seconds before market opens. I was not paying attention to that, but let's lock in here. Let us have a good day. Let us trade wisely. Let it not be fear or distraction. Let us play calm and keep our cards collected. We're going to reduce our size to 1 contract for the day. I want to see us heading down to the bottom of range.
Order filled.
I did hop in. For 9 points. We see the EMA touching the 5-minute time scale. Looking like sell-sided. Not good for us there.
Order filled.
You know what? Was a sell-sided market. Don't update the opens. Reaches the point we were looking for. Heading towards range. Touches range. We play the rejection upwards. You see the halfway touch here? I would love to see that.
Order filled.
Hop on the halfway.
Order filled.
And we are done for the day. Wow, this was definitely a day to hold here. We're gonna hop on our Paddis account here. Market is just dumping. Is it heading to fill the gap? That right there would be surprising. So let's actually draw this in here to fill this gap out. Oh, let's move this line temporarily. Filling that gap looks incredibly difficult there. Extended, it's heading to the secondary low. Question was today a buy-sided day? Likely not. Heading into opening news, let's actually look over and across. Imbalance for buy-sided orders. Massive sells of people closing their longs.
Order filled.
We do hit 15. Well, okay, let's ask the question here. Why are we hopping in right there, right? The question of why we're hopping in right there is because we did hit support on the 5-minute time scale. I want this off my screen now.
Order filled.
No, today's just not my day for trading. I guess we're just shouldn't be going long, I guess. Today wasn't the day to go long. That would likely make sense here. You know, even in my strategy, today wasn't a day to go long. You guys recall I said that the market opens within the opening range, below the halfway point. It's going to head downwards. It's going to head in that direction. So if it opened above, it would have headed up, below, heading down. What you would have had here at the opening, 50 point, 90 point day actually. We're learning. This puts us down, believably 400 now, 407. Huh. Much more considerable, but we are indeed committed to staying for the entire session through and through. And so let's really look around here as to what we have available and what's being presented to us. We see the lows are being hit. Our market isn't exactly rejecting it. Volume profile. See. Huh. Interesting. If the level lines up, what does this mean for us here? I'm trying to see which chart I like more though. Let me turn this back to blue. Huh. And what is red and green going to look like for us as well? Green, red. Definitely not red. Red looks ugly. And green looks too light. We are hitting resistance here. Or this is VWAP. This is VWAP. Okay. Market has slowed down to VWAP. Let's actually just zoom in here. Because that's not being displayed as VWAP. Alright, scales. This does look nicer. Sell-sided EMAs. Range would have given us our opening direction of sell side. Range and news. Additionally, let's go see how this pans out across the other instruments. The S&P. S&P would have opened below range around here. Spiked up slightly before dropping down. Continuing the trend. Smooth trading across the board here. Someone get me the Dow. Love to see the Dow. Well, I did not mark the 830 range for, but I will still mark it out now in hindsight. That's how backtesting works, so it doesn't matter. Oh, the Dow actually does something conversely, actually. Hold on. Let me get in here and witness this. $930, the Dow spikes up significantly, actually, before dropping down. Dow is more of a 100 tick player, so let's see this. 930, the Dow spikes up to 405, back down to 350, then to 450, up 50, down 50, up 100, down 100, and continuing down. But Dow was a key character of the day. These candles look a little funny now. I'll stop playing around with them. It's like I like and don't like this at the same time. Let's keep moving on to gold. See exactly what the gold did for us at the morning opens, 830. Throwing in the structure here. Let's hop in. We see the massive gap. Market comes back to retest it, dejects it, continues to sell down. 830 is just honestly just sitting in a bunch of range, and I'm just gonna get rid of it because I can't tell exactly what it's respecting here, what it's not respecting. I'll give the honesty of that much. Alrighty, much better. No range? No range yet, hold on. 830, found it. And gold, let's really get a look into you today. 930 gold opens above range, drops down from the 240 down to 370, spiking back up. We'll continue down into range again once more. Gold is sell-sided by EMA. EMA alone, gold is sell-sided. I mean, the Nasdaq also was sell-sided. We just didn't go with it. Heading into crude at the opens. Crude is currently up. Well, actually, it's back where it opened. Having jumped up from 63.16 to 63.35, 20 cents before returning to levels. Not really seeing too much on crude for tick-based support and resistance. Let's get back into our trader of the day. Our instrument of the day, the Nasdaq, which is in one of the world's greatest sell sides. Oh my. Yeah, nice pullback here, continues to go into the sell. Pullback, continued into the sell. Someone give me the taste on a 500 tick time frame, and oh my, this chart is beautiful today, ladies and gentlemen. Wonder what Phaeton was doing today. One of the clearest sell-sided markets. But it does pay some respect to what I believe was... Where did this come from? 15-minute fair value. The only one which we could see was respected. Nice to know that much. Nice to know that much. Yep. Breaks through it. Comes back to retest it. Hold on. Or is it this 1 minute fair value which is kind of created right here between these two candles? That would be a little bit better of representation there on the 1 minute scale. I'm actually going to turn off my executions settings. Save and hop back in here. I'm kind of liking these charts. Like, while I love the cotton candy charts, right? For the sake of it looks nice and I don't want to look at bland charts. These black and blue charts are really doing their thing. So we're just going to go ahead and merge them on over. And looking, we do see the 1 minute fair value gap here. Huh. Hopping back into our ticks though. Market comes back after paying respect to it. And let's also see if such a thing is present and visible on the S&P. As we head into range. Whose range is this is the question, because it's not on the 1 minute. And it goes back a fairly long while without appearing on our other time frames. What? S&P. This chart is representing the Nasdaq, which is problematic. And there's not even an indicator for me to grab here. This chart and this chart alone, with no indicator available, is on the Nasdaq. I'm just going to turn this one to the 30-minute time frame and go find this little range and see where it is coming from. This range is at the 5830, 5830. Coming way back from the end of March. Forget the entirety of April. This is March range. March. 830 range back in March. That's fairly neat. We have an ultimate high sitting around the 27. Oh, that's where we are actually. Right over here. Okay. 558.30. March 26th range. From the last day of the high pullback. Market has since then rallied back up. Let's get some full screen for perspective sakes. We are reaching March highs. Once we get past this level, really, we have more resistance towards the 59.30, which is about 100 points away from the market where it currently opened at today. 100 points. Once you get past your 59.30, next you have your 60.60 and your 6,200. Wow, the market was really trying to maintain these highs here for a while. Quite nice to see. My computer's freezing over there, so we're not going to go that way any further. Let's try marking up the support lines here, see what we have. Back to 1 minute on today. Market having dumped down significantly on the S&P. Once more, the question was, do we see this fair value gap repeat itself? Yes, but not to the exact same extent. This gap then comes and clears itself. Nice and lovely. EMAs are crossing over and have been crossed this. Ooh. Could we be looking for the buy side back up to return to a latest point? Let's map out our resistance lines and see how the market is looking overall. We do see the dip down breakout. Breakout's about 10 points right now. Let's see if it holds. People are really playing support lines here. Definitely a fun day to be in the markets. And what time is the current news? Trump is talking right now. Kugler is going to speak at 10:25. And at 11:30 we have some treasury bills and their yields. Breakout does not hold significantly to and through. Market is currently struggling around VWAP area. 5 minutes displaying VWAP. Other time frames aren't. Definitely neat. Definitely considerable. Market is indeed shooting up here across the ticks. Definitely looking lovely. Could have gotten a fairly nice entry within the 260, 270 range. Currently sitting at 290, so market jumps up. Really just had to break this 290 level resistance here. If we can get to 110 in here, it'd be nice. Nevertheless, we're seeing 800 on the flat. Currently up about 15 points from the entry point. Well, delayed entry. 25 points or so from the potential opportunity where there was presented. And we do see the 808 pass there. This is fairly nice. 810 highs. This position right now will be up 20 points. Possibly even more due to the fact that we placed it at a higher point than where the market was. So it's sad most of you may be up 30 points on this position. Might be a good day for trading using market profile. This is a little off-settling here. As it's mapping the new chart, because this wasn't here beforehand, it's definitely on the NASDAQ chart, right? So they're mapping the new chart, but putting it on the NASDAQ instead of the S&P. A little bit concerning. Wait, what? When did we go to the NASDAQ? And where's the buttons for this one? Buttons 1, 2, 3, not 4. They just, no changing that one. No indicators allowed. Guess so. Guess so. $40-point move right here. Fairly nice. All you would have had to do was wait about 20 or so minutes. The market has surpassed my range and is going to go and fill into what line this is filling. About 45 points. This is a market profile line from earlier. I don't think we marked out a 30-minute low. Yep, this is not the 30-minute lows, but market profile. $60-point move. Definitely a learning point. And I want to go look at market profile across gold and see how that's looking. Looking at higher time frames, we only see much happening here. In the pre-market, currently as of now, slow moving, slow bounce, slow dip, military support, about 2-3 points in range. But gold is always easier to trade on ticks for me. Tick on gold, this is sell-sided. You go from 42 down to 38. 4 points maximum range. We'll assume you got at least 2 points there. Rejection of prior range at 936. Continuing vector ties and rejecting them once more. There's a little open at 9 o'clock here if you see gold. It releases escapes range, grab support once more, escapes once again. Trump says he spoke to Tim Cook this morning. He will build a lot in the U.S. Tim Cook. Tim Cook. Who exactly is this man? Mr. Cooks. Going back to full screen over there, we have a secondary screen just for this exact reason of research. Tim Cook. Tim Cook. The current CEO of Apple. He's going to be doing a lot of building in the U.S. So we're trying to get the manufacturing out of China, apparently. The China agreement does not include pharma. Trump says the China agreement does not cover the tariffs on cars, steel, aluminum, or pharmaceuticals. Interesting. I gotta set up some. Voice is slouching. I could still buy side. EMAs haven't crossed for me, so we're still looking for longs. Since the open, gold has opened down, hit a bottom low of 36, dropping lower to 35.8, rebounding to 50, currently settling at 43. 5-minute time frame, gold is looking fairly easy to trade. Well, fairly, I wouldn't say easy, but fairly nice to trade. 3-minute time frame gives us a little bit more information. Heading back into the crude before heading into the NASDAQ. Crude is hitting resistance and being sell-sided. Opening, hitting the resistance, or support if you'd like to call it that, and dropping back down. Very rapid movements. Its crude is down about 40 cents. Only 30 or so since the opening. It's a fair amount of consolidation here. Let's say take 4 candles, right? 4 candles, higher low. Someone could have entered here at the low of this candle. Very interesting. This volume profile guy. Back into the NASDAQ. We do see the return to the 1 minute fair value gap. Excuse me there. Just spamming volume point at this point. Sell side at 275. Buy side at the 813. Alright. Yeah, buy side at the 803. Sell side at 85. Sell side at 80. We'll do sell side at 80. Buy side at 803 flat. 80 flat. Trump says, I will speak to China's President Xi at the end of the week. Maybe. We hit the 80. I think we hit the 80 for the sell side. 80 for the sell side has been hit. There's some strong pullbacks on me though, so we gotta see how they're dancing. Because the candle themselves are rejecting this point. They're certainly rejecting it. I'm not getting buy-sided signals since they're all the same color. Someone tell us today where the market is heading. This chart was set to RTH. I'm really just coming to examine the gap here. Definitely one of our larger, more considerable gaps for the market here. You see a nice little VWAP projection there. Note 3, Trump has just said that China will be rewarded on tariffs for the fentanyl action, and they have agreed to stop fentanyl. He also says that his Middle East trip will be historic. What does he plan to do? And the trip itself will be historic. Actually, if we hop in over here, we do see a little fair value gap. The rejection of the first 3-minute value gap. Halfway point is fairly nice. Having dumped this way down from the 850 towards the 780. Oh wow. 70-point move. Iraq to reduce crude oil exports to 3.2 million BPD in May and June. What does that mean? Heading back into the last fair value gap. Oh, what? I just hear like being echoed in my ears. Like, that's not my insecurity. What the heck? Which is weird. Almost like an insult. That's so odd. Oh well. We do see market holding. It's trying to make its way back in. We can see the halfway point hit. Hopefully we can see the breakthrough here. We have a little bit of ascending resistance, but this isn't anything that I want to chart out just yet. Nothing there that I'm particularly interested in. Five-minute time scale, we do see ourselves hitting resistance here if we can pull this up just slightly. For R6, we're going to change the layout just a little bit here so we can really get in on this. We're going to hop in 5, 1, 100. And really give it a good dance. That's our current charts. I'm going to turn this down. I don't think we really care about volume as much. Volume really isn't just one of our concerns, like, at all. I think I will head back to my original. So it's blue, red. It wasn't always red there, but orange was always the 200, your highest. You had a blue. It wasn't that dark now, but well, it wasn't that light. I'll throw in red there. So I'm inclined right now to look at the ticks. You're at a buy-sided market here. And it's just trying to make its way back up. Can't we all sympathize? Sell side. Market goes and fills the gap from where the open and the close. No, that would be right then. RTH. Someone bring me to RTH. Yeah, this is just the open. Yeah, say there's nothing specific about this that I'd really say was a giveaway beforehand. We just cannot find the strength to hold above the halfway point of range of this gap, I'd say. I'm happy at one contract. I really want to see this as to where I should hop in or should have been hopping in at had I been paying attention. Right here.
Order filled.
We're just going to sit and hold this out here. This is our practice account. I just want to see how it's going to play out here. You see the EMA starting to go flat here. Our goal is not going to be full 40. Our goal is going to be 20 points. A $400 trade. We need a 1-to-1 ratio. We are using market profile for this order. Entering in at just below. Now let's get this off the charts here, since market was consolidating for a good little bit. $18 points. Holding the 15-16 right now. The market does deject the order entirely. That is unique. Is it? But hey, it was there. It was closable. And we're back looking to go for it.
Order filled.
20 points. One thing I noticed here that I want to really just improve on again is moving my stop loss. The entire time that order was up, and I still could have let it become a loss. But market profile during a consolidating market, definitely nice. That was $400 right there. Not my actual account, but hey, it would have been a good trade. Would have been some value. Chinese Commerce Ministry. We had a meeting with foreign trade companies on Monday. Interesting. Which we down right now? $5. Oh wow. Okay, we've recovered it then. Okay. Yeah, their account. Current points are looking like 30-minute lows, I believe, from the pre-market session. Not this one. This is something else. Huh. 15. This might have been market profile if I was correct there on that one. Marketary profiling. Nada. Okay, it is. It was. That's where I drew this line. The market hold to it earlier? Give it some regard. We see a lot higher support at the opens. So I'm not sure if I really want to hold to this line. Trump says the European Union will have to pay more for healthcare. That the European Union is nastier than China, and the European Union will come down a lot. Quite the choice for words there, I'd say. Quite the choice for words. Now let's get back to what we're currently bearing witness to right now. Five minutes isn't really holding here. Probably 3 minutes for the fact that I think they hold more. Let me grab this and pull it over some. Get this entry at 775. Market dips down about 13 points, and from there, market's this way back up. That's all. That's what I had to check. We do see the continuous and slow grinding halt. Well, slow grinding ascension from range. Well, from one fair value gap to the next. Fairly nice across the 1 minute scales. Support grab being given you around the 1010. I can return to the halfway point here. Oh, I didn't put the tools on there. That's a lot better. Okay. Then all your tools should be down here then. The heck? What? There's nothing to block. Do see some rejection. Okay. The Lord rebuke it. The Lord certainly rebuked that. I'm gonna pay attention to the pullback times. So sorry. That does recall. Okay, so exactly what we said we were going to do, right? EMA direction first. Let's write this down. I want to remember it. EMA direction and then range direction. We're gonna have a priority set for range and for direction of the trades here. We have our notes ready. Sticky notes. It says EM. EMA direction over range direction has been written down and posted, connected onto the monitor. Let's go. And it is about time for us to start checking around our instruments, our favorite guys. Let's head into the S&P. Looking quite similar to the NASDAQ. Let's see ourselves at the 9:30 open, wondering the question that, well, answering that one question. Do we see the return to this fair value gap? So you have an initial gap created, actually not created at all right there. So the S&P doesn't see this first gap, but rather, oh, we've already drawn it, okay. It does have access to the second gap. Connects to the halfway point, dropping down from 35 until 26. Repeaking the fullness of the range, dropping back down, and currently that's where we're stuck at. Moving across our list, let's go examine our boys in the crude industry. Crude, give me some 30-minute range here for the day. Eight 30 crude. Looks nice. So we have crude opening up, heading to opening range, hits the halfway point, dejects downwards, going from the 63.34 all the way down to 62.95, pulling back to 03, continuing down to 81 before rejecting, continuing up further higher. I'm trying to see what is it best rejecting now. It's best ejecting the 5 minutes for crude, which is interesting. Crude being a 5-minute time trader. I think we're gonna hop back just a little bit on the smooching. 30 minutes, running the 5 minutes, running the because you have to be ticks. You turn into ticks. You turn into 1 minute, and you turn into the 5. I think this looks more appropriate for the day. I'm gonna give you guys just back a little bit more room. Definitely a lot better for us to work with here. Appropriate amount of zoom for each instrument. Crude has given us some nice and consistent pullbacks across the minutes, and especially on the ticks here, we see some nice and some good moves. Hitting halfway point, ejecting its way down. Definitely a good thing there. And lovely, our baby gold. But first, Trump is speaking. Trump threatens to target cars if drug prices don't go down. Ooh, he says that we would cut out the middlemen in drug sales. We would help drug companies for other nations. And we will do whatever we have to do to win trade. We will add on to tariffs if nations do not abide by our drug policy, and if necessary, we will investigate the drug companies. Trump is not playing. What a market man. What a marketary man. We just see consolidation here, so let's really get looking at this. It hasn't really formed yet on the 30 minutes, but it's certainly making itself prevalent across our 5-minute intervals. Grabbing these 4 candles gives us the point of 32.42. Something you could consider and come back to later on. Yeah, gold has been buy-sided all morning, just a lot of ranging. A lot of ranging. And buy side officially, I'd say around 850. Around 850, your emails would have crossed enough for you to know you were buy sided. Currently heading a little into the sell sided. But gold is one guy who I would love to trade, not in the 5-minute time frame, but the 3-minute. A lot less noise, a lot less confusion over there. And if you're not trading on the 3-minute, trade on the ticks. Gold at 9 o'clock was definitely making some nice moves. Having gone from the 32.30, 32.37 that is, to 32.52. And now making its return. Kugler says that the tariffs are going to lead to slower growth and higher inflation. Uncertainty around tariffs has already impacted the economy. Policy stance is restrictive and well positioned. He's saying things can't change. He's saying it's going to be hard for the things to change. But Trump is on the other end saying, hey, we're going to get this done, guys. I don't care. I don't care. Trump's ever getting it done. Kugler saying, what are you talking about? And even if you change it now, the effects still have to take place. There are things that are still coming. Leaving the crew, let's go and join our boys in the NASDAQ and see exactly how that. What is this monstrosity on my 3-minute time frame? What is this monstrosity on my charts here? Heading back into the 5 minutes, it's still a monstrosity. It's a little bit more clear on the 5 minutes, though, so we'll hold to it right now. This is disgusting. Are there any lows that we're sweeping? 745 gets swept around 930. We're hitting those very lows again. But that was disgusting. Let me get this out here real quick. Market profile. Around the 340 range. Low 25. But oh my, that was terrific. So let's exactly take a good look and see how did crude open up today. Crude, the Dow. Dow opens, spikes up to touch, drops back down. Industries are really ranging right now, but heading back into a range that I don't have on my charts actually. It's heading into a range, excuse me, that I do not have on my charts. Now that is something. This range is present on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, 1 minute and the 1 tick. So across the 1 minute, it looks smooth, fairly. Heading into 10 o'clock, 10:30ish range. You see the market dropping from the 350 to 270 to 240. About 90 points in the last 5 or so minutes. Fairly nice trades for the Dow. Fairly nice trades. Dow's one of those guys where you really get interested in them. You feel me? You want to learn about them. Could this be for me? Maybe. Right now, we're currently in the NASDAQ department, 42 and strong. 9:30, we see the Dow jumping from 1533, 1570, about 40 points. Nice little move there. And currently lunch scheduled at 11 o'clock. So we'll take that break in about 30 minutes. But what is this range coming from is a real question. Looking for a nice brown range. Brown ninja of range. We're getting closer. Hold on. No, we are actually definitely getting closer. Where is the brown ninja of ranges? I'm assuming it's somewhere in March, and we're just gonna stop right there, just because of that. We're not heading back to March for this. 2 months of scrolling for some range. We are hitting VWAP though, so that's nice. Market having giving us consistent sell all the way down, heading ourselves back into what a guy, what a chart, I tell you. Having taken 6 trades. Back into our NASDAQ. Once again, consistent, oh my, consistent and smooth trading across the 100 tick time frame. Our minutes show a sudden drop around heading into 10:30. About from the 8:25 to about 700 flat. Dropping over 100 points within about the last 10 minutes or so. What is the market doing to us today? Yeah, nice little pullback around 740. Allow me to hop in or continue a position. Down another 30 or so points. Pullbacks. Slowly continue through. We do see some return, some resistance. The market is saying, hey, hold on. It might pull back here. Just might do that little thing. Kugler says that the progress on disinflation has slowed. I mean, they're aren't getting the best hold of it. And the labor market conditions are mostly stable. He says, I supported keeping rates stable at the current restrictive level. The Fed is in a good position to deal with the change in the macroeconomic outlook. Fun little question there. I'm sitting here with earbuds in, being completely silent. 27 minutes for a lunch break. Maybe go for a walk, message someone. See how the day's really going. Just know it was nice, to come out here and commit myself to the break, well, to the session. Definitely actually got to hit a little bit more on the topics here for the session. But so far, it was nice and I liked it. But for the sake of it, let's get it up here, guys. Welcome to Off the Charts. 30 minutes of your favorite traders closing their charts, answering questions, having fun, and talking everything non-trading. I like that. Off the charts. There's some resistance. This market. There's some resistance out here. Wish I could get a good hold of it. It's not showing too strong R5, so we don't really have it officially. I'm gonna do all my resistance marking out on the higher time frames here. How visible is it supposed to be? This is sitting at 22. Okay, this also is supposed to be 22 then. 22. Where's 16? Trump, Trump says very good things happening in Iran. Iran is acting intelligently. You know? Ticks are starting to give a lot of noise. We're gonna zoom out there on the ticks. Hop into a higher time frame on ticks and see how they're really playing out. 500 looks like a dancing wave. As if that means something. Na 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 na. Trump is speaking right now, saying, "I was thinking about flying over for Ukraine meeting. There's a possibility if I think things will happen. China tariffs will go up without a deal. Tariffs won't go back all the way up to 145. So either they get the deal, tariffs are coming back up, but not to 145. He's just stiff arming people right now. Get this deal done or no. He says, I think we'll have a deal. I think we'll have a deal. This is a time for your market profile. How are we looking here? About the 720 market is jumping up from it. Yeah, react a little quick on the market profile. Let's go and check in on other instruments right now. See how the day is going over there. Going to sit in complete silence when there are good things happening right now. Heading into the S&P, we do see the exact same thing across the NASDAQ, where the market is indeed heading up, passing to our support levels, and actually soon to encounter VWAP, unless these charts are a little off. No, it is definitely soon to encounter VWAP, but the 1 minute has it set elsewhere. Much better. S&P's encountering VWAP, looking for a slight sell-off and hopefully the breakthrough to return up towards range. So at midday, actually still fairly early in the trading day, having started at 9:30, being an hour in. $10 market returning to the open range. Makes it about halfway there, hitting a fair value gap and continuing its way back down. Where we are right now, could not exactly tell you. I can tell you a fair amount. So let's head into gold. And what do we see across the instrument? Gold in the 500 time frame should never be traded. Heading back into the 100. We see just a lot of large leaps and bounds here. 5-minute time frame for gold has indeed escaped all its continuous range. Heading upwards into the long, we see gold is heading towards VWAP actually. Currently seeing its highs. Actually stationed above V. And these two are below. These two are above. I'm going to go around and say the overall VWAP is indeed below. Well, above us. But gold really is just sleeping right now. You do have some direction for trades. It's not the clearest. And therefore, there's just no need to take it beyond knowing that you're in a long-sided market. Long. Heading back into crude before returning over to the Dow and the Nas. Let's get our hands on crude. See consolidation. Crude dips back down from the 63 flat to the 62.40, having dropped 40 cents. We're just doing fairly nice and respective to the 1-minute time frame. And it looks easier on the 100 ticks. We get a nice zoom in on here. See the market consolidate next time it comes around. This level right here, 62.96. Utah, 62.96. The market does come back for it twice, dejecting its way back down. Fairly nice day in the markets. The Indian Prime Minister Modi has said, "We have only paused our military action against Pakistan," meaning that they do indeed plan to resume it and continue. Interesting. I said a sharp rebound in risk appetite amid a reprieve in the U.S.-China trade war has fueled a stock rally, with hopes for a broader agreement between the world's two largest economies, driving down bonds, gold, and haven currencies. The economy was getting better, so when people wanted to store their money, decreased in value. Okay, I get it now. I'm getting it. So on that note, actually, on that exact note, where's Bitcoin? Definitely having dropped. Okay, I was a little curious about that. Spiked around 3, then immediately dropped back down immediately. Oh, what percent is Bitcoin down today? Open, it's exactly where it opened actually. 4:30 closed here, opened around this candle, around the, yeah, it's right in open range. Having spiked up, we gotta change the color on the text here. Having spiked up about 3%, just to return back to its range, well, where it was before it closed. How much does it trade at for value-wise? Mark for Bitcoin. Let me drop like 5 cons.
Order filled.
5 cons moves at literal pennies.
Order filled.
That's horrific. That's actually horrific. Micro Bitcoin. And we don't just have Bitcoin futures. I don't see that. So let's keep looking for Bitcoin futures. But that definitely stunk though. Cattle, copper, oil, Swiss franc, Japanese yen. I've heard that's pretty liquid. Not yen, Mexican peso. I could get the US dollar.
Order filled.
Have them at 5. Each one's moving at $5. $5 a point here. How long will this take to move? Okay, let's see. How many points has the market moved today then? 25 points. 5 minus 5. 25 points. That's not really exciting here. I guess it's not supposed to be exciting. We'd be down 75 that quickly. Huh.
Order filled.
Neat. So that's the Mexican peso. Penny back into the Dow. How are we looking? Dow once again is returning into range. Really wants to break over with the industries. India Prime Minister Modi has said no nuclear blackmail will be tolerated by India. Interesting. Nuclear blackmail. Definitely one of the good things you want to hear about. But this does begin to wrap up our session. Or the break at least. We're returning back for another 30 minutes at 12 o'clock. Or 11:30. 10 minutes here. I just want to take some trades on gold and really just turn around. I want to hold to the NASDAQ since this is where I'm trading. 5 minutes has us in a sell-sided order. Market is pulling its way back up. It's fighting us. I'm looking for the turn because Trump is speaking a lot and he's speaking hot. I'm going to help him with 2 contracts. And just let them hold out.
Order filled.
And of course, as I want to do that, the market decides to rally up to the heavens and above. But okay. Right here in literal seconds. Jumps up from 90 to 98. But really, what is this? Turn off the visuals. Let the order sit on a 2020. Said okay. Heading to a sell side. I'm gonna do this one thing I've been doing quicker. Closing the
Order
order.
filled.
Reacting quicker in time. Ticks say yes. My minutes say no. And I'm not gonna sit there and just. The goal here is to react quicker. Something goes wrong, change quicker. This isn't working, change quicker. He said, so if my current strategy with the range works, but I'm not following it, what does that tell us? It's like a really high percent chance, right? Just like the market opens, you just have one contract buy long or go short. I just passed your combine like that. Heading into gold. Let's see what's up here. Gold on the 1 minute scale is definitely dropping down. Okay, let's head into the ticks. We'll get ourselves a good taste of what's happening in the markets. We see a sudden drop around the 1045. Quick little pullback 3 minutes later to continue to move down. Heading from the 45, 46, down to 46 points down in the last 10 minutes. Gold is making massive moves today. Is this a support grab or a rejection? That is what the people are looking for. As gold dropped down significantly, it is now making its way back up to range. Let's actually check this range that we're speaking of so heavily here. Trump says he believes that Russia will agree to a 30-day ceasefire. Interesting. Nice little pullback to continue the move here on gold. Pulling back about 4 points. Continuing its way down now. Last minute pulling up our Dow. Oh, we just unfavorited it. We just unfavorited the Dow. Let's go back and return it to its rightful position. Damn, favored again. How lovely. Back into the NASDAQ. Mm. Let me see what this looks like on the 500 scale here. Heading to a little bit of a sell side. Bit of confirmation here. So after zooming out, other scales do indeed confirm the idea that the NASDAQ is actually, the VWAP is just a little bit lower than we're currently looking at. But these scales conversely say elsewise. How interesting. But heading to the 11 o'clock hour, let's see what the market does. Mark out a potential breakout just in case it does happen. Later down the line. Should be all set for now. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are heading into our 11 o'clock. Markets are doing a little bit of dumping, but nevertheless, we're calling that our 30-minute break. We'll catch you guys shortly after. Thank you very much. Nice rally. think we're gonna end it here, guys. Today was an interesting learning lesson, but we did come back a little bit sooner than our intended break ended. We have learned today, and it was good. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you all for coming out here. Let's put out together everything which we had learned into our notes, compile them for next time. We'll catch you guys then. Thank you very much.